All right. Well, our speaker today is someone we know pretty well, and I have to say that she's always an inspiration to me, not just in her talks or the spiritual side of her, but how she lives her life. She she meets adversity with a lot of strength and determination, and she's just got such a joyful spirit on how she looks at things. And even the way she refers to her puppies. I mean, it's just something about that I just find endearing. So our speaker today is Reverend Joyce Zorger.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Well, thank you all. Thank you for being here too. You just have to laugh. Love that song. And laughter has helped me move through those greatest challenges and changes. And the topic today is change. And oh my gosh, I was thinking as I was driving in, the changes that my mom had to go through. She lived to be 96, but she was she loved games as I do, and she liked to laugh as I do. And I remember my brother and sister and I bought her a new wash machine and dryer for Mother's Day or her birthday or something, but because she still had a Maytag Ringer wash machine that she was using. And talk about change, she loved that, and she didn't really want to change it. And we kind of pushed this new wash machine and dryer on her, and she never used it because she didn't quite understand the mechanics of it. And I understand that very clearly because one of my daughters gave me an Apple Watch for my birthday, Mother's Day and birthday, and I was going to wear it today to talk about it, but it wasn't working, and I didn't know what. But the strangest thing about that watch, I'm walking on my property, and I feel this vibration on my arm, and I think it's a bug or something crawling on me because I live in the country, and it's my watch telling me that I'm not walking fast enough, or maybe my heart rate, I don't know. But anyway, I left it at home, and I'm glad I did because I don't want it telling me what to do while I'm here talking to you. The technology of today is sometimes over the top for me as I am going through the aging process. But it's I got something from an email a while back, and I have to share this with you because I thought this was interesting. This was back, I may have told you this before, but I don't remember. But anyway, it's about 1916. Okay, it says the year is 1916. Did I tell you this before? No? Okay. It says the average life expectancy for men was 47 years. Good, you're all here and you're still alive, and that's a good thing. Fuel for cars was sold in drugstores only. Only 14% of the homes had a bathtub. 14% of the homes. Only 8% of the homes had a telephone. The maximum speed limit in most cities was 10 miles an hour. The tallest structure in the world was the Eiffel Tower. The average, I love this one here, the average U.S. wage was 22 cents an hour. The average U.S. worker made between $200 and $400 a year. So, and it goes on and on. It had a lot more stuff here, but I just wanted to read those. Those pretty much, were printed on the chalkboard at I volunteer with the Historical Society and at the Manuela Schoolhouse, if you haven't been there. It's very, very interesting. It was built in 1901, and there's a story about it, but some of these facts are printed on the chalkboard there. It's like change, where every day there's change. And every day, especially if you have animals, you have to deal with all that they're going through. My puppies are now 8 years old. I've talked about them since I've been talking here, the journey through raising these two puppies that are just, anyway, I don't want to go into that now, but the older I get, the faster the years go by. And I was watching something on YouTube. A friend of mine sent this to me, and it was about a woman that the title of her talk was what I'd tell to my 60-year-old self. She was in her 90s. I think she was 94. So what I would tell to my 60-year-old self. Fascinating. If you haven't seen that, go on YouTube and catch that. But she talked about when by the time you're in your she talked about how by the time you reach your 60s, the years go by faster, and I think that's true. But especially now, at my age, I feel half a year has gone by. It's already June, and I feel like I'm a half a year older. And when you get to be my age, and I'm 80, I just celebrated my 88th birthday. I feel that's an infinity number. It's and I like that 88. So I'm going to hold on to that, and I say 88, and I'm feeling great, and that's my mantra for 88. So choose a mantra for every year. It helps. It has helped me move on through the days, and getting used to the changes. The changes for me seem to be going much faster than I remember when I was much younger. I was talking to a neighbor friend of mine, and she was a hospice nurse for many years, and she just gives me inspiration. And she's in her 70s now, and I complimented her on her kindness. She's always so kind and willing to help. And she said that it was her parents. She said, "My parents taught me this: live simply, love generously, speak kindly, and leave the rest to God." And I thought, wow, what a mantra for that, or something to hold on to know that. To speak, to live simply. And my life is not all that simple, but I do live out in the country, and I love the simplicity of nature and the birds. And they're eating me out of house and home, though. I'm finding that I have to buy those 20-pound bags of bird seed twice a week to feed these birds. And I am thinking, I've got to put them on a diet. This is ridiculous, because my animals are costing me a lot of money. And between my dogs and my horses and my cat and my birds, I mean, I eat. That's why I'm looking like I do. I've lost some weight because I can't afford the food I'm feeding all my animals. Anyway, I need a drink of water. Anyway, that's my life, and I'm sticking to it, and bless you to you. I came across a file folder as I was looking for things to say about this talk today on change, and I came across this file folder that I had many years ago. I spoke on this, and it's called Change, a Balancing Act, which it certainly is. And I got some of that information from that folder for navigating change, I thought of that word navigating because navigating the aging is a book that I have in the workshop that we had for Ruth. Ruth did a beautiful time to invite a friend of hers and spoke on navigating. What is that? Navigating dynamic aging. I couldn't think of the word dynamic. God. Anyway, navigating dynamic aging, and I love that book. I'm reading it, and I looked through this book, and change is a balancing act, and basically navigating the change. And so when I found this, in this file folder, there was a list of quotes. I picked out a couple. This one was from Maya Angelou, and she said, if you don't like something, change it. If you can't change it, change your attitude. And so we all know that. If you don't like it, you change it. And if you can't change it, you got to change your thoughts about it, your attitude about it. Okay, so I guess I don't need this. I was going to remember to say hello to the people on Zoom, and because I've been on Zoom for the last couple of Sundays, and I miss being here to see you all in person, and it just is a joy for me to come in this room and see you all and get your special warmth and hugs. And I just this is our unity community, and it's so special. And now we're embracing the people from San Luis Obispo, and we're just loving to see the new people that are coming here. That it just expands the love, is what I see. So where am I? Okay, so last week, Richard, your talk was just so perfect on grace, and you ended it by talking about the winds of change, and so that's always been one of my favorite. The winds of change, they're always blowing, and it's up to us to change the sail if we don't like the direction that we're going in. We need to change our sails and our attitude about what's happening in our life. It really does take a commitment to make those changes. It's our thinking patterns. being a religious scientist for many years, I'm going to share something a little later on. I'm going to share something about my life in the 80s. Talk about dynamic changing, and that was a traumatic decade for me. And I was wondering whether I should share it or not, but I thought I'd like you to know about what I was able to move through at that time. This is in my way. Let me put this over here. Thank you. I'm thinking, should I be talking in this? But you can hear me okay. Okay. That's what I wrote. I thought it was pretty good. Since I spent so much time writing this, I should refer to it now and then. But so it says, to navigate the new, we must bless and release the old thinking that no longer serves our highest good. And being a student of Ernest Holmes' Science of Mind, I have always loved change your thinking, change your life. And I think that's what drew me into the Science of Mind. And of course, the Unity and Science of Mind are so similar. I feel very much at home here in the philosophy. I think that it really developing is so necessary. Developing the awareness, the necessity for change in our thinking patterns takes a commitment. It really truly does. I have, when Brian always likes to know that I've read the Unity newsletter, and he always gets a happy smile on his face knowing that I'm asking people. But then when he finds out that not too many people have read it, you must read the one on change. It's really very good. It has. There's a beautiful affirmation at the end, which I'll read when I get to the end of my talk. Remind me to do that, because it's likely I won't. I'll have too many things that I'm thinking of that I want to say. So I wrote, the more aware that we become, the greater power we will have to change our lives from negative to positive. And this is what I'd like to share with you. Back in 1980s, it was, I was in my 50s then, in 1980. The 80s were a decade of great change for me, and I felt out of control of my husband's drinking at the time. My husband and I, John and I, have been married 64 years, so we managed to get through the rough times and managed to change what we had to change and move forward in our relationship together. But this time was a very difficult time for me, and I found myself becoming crazy busy. Whenever I couldn't manage, I got extremely busy. I was always go, always having to do something. And then phone, that was from our chaplain too, Debbie. Eventually I joined Al-Anon. I don't know if some of you may be related to Al-Anon, but it's such a powerful program, and it helped me through a lot of change that I had to make. It became an immense change for me, and doing so caused an escalation of my husband's drinking, and he got so angry about all, what I was doing. And he said he wasn't an alcoholic because he didn't go to meetings. I thought that was funny. But the one thing, he always had such a great sense of humor, and that's what held us together all those years. So the program required, this is what I thought. I ended up putting myself in the rehab that I sought out for him. It was for a month long. I thought it was only for alcohol. It was not only for alcoholics, but it was for codependents too. And this was, I hadn't intended to do that. I was going to change him, get him in there, and have him work that program. But I was, through various things that were said to me, it convinced me that I needed to help myself. I needed to do something for myself. So the program required me to live in a hospital in Orange County for the entire month of 1988. It was February 1988. It was a shock to my husband and to my entire family, but I was desperate. I was desperate for change. And while I was there, I worked with a religious science practitioner, receiving spiritual mind treatment that helped me to navigate this difficult time. And developing the awareness necessary for change, truly takes a commitment. I was committed and made some very difficult decisions at that time that not only affected my marriage, but affected my teaching too, my teaching career, because I was teaching in 3 different community colleges at the time. Talk about being busy. I was also president of a teachers union and teaching at 3 different community colleges at the same time. Go, go, go. Well, try not to deal with what's happening in my life that's falling apart. So developing the awareness necessary for change, it truly takes a commitment. And I was committed and made some very difficult decisions at that time and I said that already, okay? So this is where I'm getting emotional that I'm finding myself back there dealing with all of this again. But my life is more serene now, I have to say, most of the time, except for my dogs that drive me crazy, kind of like my husband drove me crazy back then in the 80s. Maybe I'm just asking for trouble. No, I'm not. Cancel, cancel. That is not the truth of my being. And that's an important thing. When you hear yourself go into negative talk about yourself, say cancel, cancel. That is not the truth of my being. That has gotten me through a lot of times when I've misspoke and can cause myself more problems in my life. I just have to be strong and move through those times that are calling upon me to be strong and to make the changes that I need to make for my own highest and best good. And that's why this philosophy, without this philosophy, science of mind, religious science, and unity, I don't know where I would be without that. I just love the serenity prayer got me through many, many days. But there was a serenity prayer, a version of it that I copied, and I have it tacked on my file cabinet at home, and it's, God grant me the serenity to accept the people that I cannot change, the courage to change the ones that I can, and the wisdom to know that it's me. So that is a real perfect twist on the serenity prayer. How many of you are familiar with the serenity prayer? Yeah. God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. And so that's a prayer that I have incorporated in my daily work that I do. On this last page, I'm almost done. I'm on page 4. Anyway, I am an avid journal writer. I've written journals most of my, when I was a little girl, I remember just at the beginning of summertime, and I had a little diary that I wrote, and I wrote in it, tomorrow is the first day of summer vacation. I'm looking forward to all the things that I'll be doing, and all the rest of the pages were blank. And I thought, oh my God, I must not have done much of anything. No, but I did. I was busy. I was too busy. I figured that's what it was. I gave myself that excuse. I was just too busy to write in my diary. But I had plenty of time to write in my journal because that was cathartic, to write in a journal. It was, but yet I'm thinking to myself, all these journals were moved up when I had the flooding, and my whole bottom floor was flooded out in 2023. I moved a lot of things upstairs into John's room, because John had passed away the year before. And I still have not found my journals, and if I do, I'm going to burn them. I'm going to have a burning ceremony because I don't know if I want. Some of them were just an outpouring of my soul. I don't know. Maybe I'll just read them again and see how lucky I am now that I managed to move through that time. And I'm here today to say I'm grateful. I have great gratitude for my life and for how I have confidence that no matter what happens, I have the attitude, the gratitude, and the fortitude to move through it. No matter what happens, I have that strength. And that's all because I know that I have that power that God is, that's within me. God is my strength, and vision is his gift. And there's a prayer I say every night when I wake up in the middle of the night, and I say this prayer, that if I can remember it now, let me take a drink of water, excuse me. I should have wrote it down because, that's the trouble with the changing process of the aging process, because that's probably the most challenging thing for me right now, is moving through this aging process and being kind to myself and being patient and being my own best friend, and to know that it's okay, it'll come back. I was trying to think of the book that I read every morning, and that's the Daily Word, and I couldn't remember the name and the title of it. And I thought, what is going on? And it's just be gentle with yourself, be compassionate, and be tender with your soul. And some of you that are in your 20s, 30s, 40s, and you're being, oh, this is ridiculous. You'll know someday. Yeah, and it's all good, and it's a journey, and I bless you all on your journey, because it's a journey of just unfolding in your consciousness and knowing that this and something better is always there to happen, and our life is eternal. I do believe life is eternal. This is not just the end. I say that to myself because I'm getting close to the end, and I think there's more to this. I know, and so anyway, for the journals, I've been searching in closets, and I try to clean out something every day, a drawer or some items that. My daughter came over for a week. She had a week off of school, and she works for the school district of Newport Beach or Orange County. And she came over and she helped me clean out my whole laundry room. And I have 16 cupboards in my laundry room, and now I can't find anything. But it's really nice to be able to open a cupboard door and see a blank space. It is, and so. I'm going to try to, I know that Amanda, she's doing this, the Clutter Clinic, and every Saturday at 10 o'clock, you're supposed to get on your computer, and she has you work on cleaning out a drawer. But 10 o'clock goes by, and I should have been on there, but I can do it myself. I don't have to be on the computer to do it. I can have the discipline to start getting rid of stuff. After 40 years in one place in Costa Mesa and almost 30 years in my place in Feather Ranch, it's a lot of accumulation. Because when you move a lot, it's good. You get rid of stuff, so moving is good. But I don't like change, so I don't move a lot. I like where I am, and I don't know if they're going to have to carry me out of there in a covered wagon or something. But I just love Feather Ranch, and I love outdoors. I love nature and my animals. I have to live long enough to take care of my animals, and that's my goal. That's where I am right now. So, and my animals are getting older too. One of them is 31 years old, my horse, so she might have a few more years to go. But anyway, I'm off the subject completely, like I often do. But what time is it? Oh, it's 10 of 11. I have plenty of time. I can have another half an hour. No. Oh my goodness. I will share with you. This is my closing thoughts. To everything there is a season. I relax and trust the guidance of Spirit within me to show me the changes that are mine to make and to lead me away from the changes that are not needed on my path. And I love those words. I'm going to read it again. To everything there is a season. I relax and trust the guidance of Spirit within to show me the changes that are mine to make and to lead me away from the changes that are not needed on my path. And I think that there's changes that you may need to make. You need that prayerful guidance to know. I need that help every day. I count on that strength of that. My belief system helps me get through the day. And if I didn't have it, I don't know where I'd be. I think I would probably have checked out of this life a long time ago. But I love it here, and I love to come here and see you, and I love the philosophy, and reach out to people. If you are having an issue in your life, share it, because you'll find that most people have things that are going on in their life, and it's their challenges, and to share it with somebody helps to give you strength. I wish I could think of that prayer. That's why I'm hesitating, because I'm thinking of the prayer that gets me through the night, because I wake up in the middle of the night and I say this prayer, and I've said it so often, but maybe I'll change it to the Serenity Prayer, because that probably will serve me just as well. But anyway, I love you all. I just love being here.
We're supposed to remind you to read something at the very end.
Oh, God bless you all. I love you. I need somebody like you in my home, in my life. I do. My Apple Watch is supposed to do that for me, to remind me things, but I couldn't get it going this morning. I don't know what's wrong with it. Anyway, I had Snoopy on there to tell me the time, and Snoopy did all kind. Do you have Snoopy too? I just love that Snoopy, all the little critters. Yeah, I love Snoopy. I sleep with a Snoopy at night. I have a stuffed toy that's a Snoopy. We'll have to share that. After I'm gone, I'm going to will it to you, okay? Okay, what was I going to read? I was going to read some. Thank you. Thank you so much, Teresa. You're so smart. Okay, this says, I like this. I welcome change as an expression of divine life. I am guided, strengthened, and blessed in every new beginning. So every day is a new beginning. I have one of those cards from Science of Mind Church way back in Orange County, back in Huntington Beach. Peggy Bassett was my hero then. Anyway, she had those cards. Every day is a new beginning, and every day is. Every moment is a new beginning. So anyway, use your moments wisely and share and love yourself and love each other, and just go into this day with an open heart, an open mind, and blessings to each one of you. God bless you all. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I'm you too. Thank you. God bless you. Okay.